Cause on this journey I get lost in my mistakes. What looks to me like weakness is a canvas for your strength. And my story isn't over, my story's just begun. Failure won't define me, cause that's what my Father does. Failure won't define me, cause that's what my Father does. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. Arrival's not the end game, the journey's where you are. You never wanted perfect, you just wanted my heart. And the story isn't over if the story isn't good. A failure's never final when the Father's in the room. A failure's never final when the Father's in the room. Prodigals come home, the helpless find hope. Love's on the move when the Father's in the room. And prison doors ring wide, the dead come to life. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room. And miracles take place, the cynical find faith. And love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Jericho walls are quaking, strongholds now are shaking. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. Sing it. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house.
Good morning. Welcome to Highview Community Church. This is a different kind of year. As my dad would say, it's been a year. But God is still at work in our church and in our world. So today is our fall season kickoff here at Highview Community Church, and we are still excited about the story that He is writing in our lives. So, whether you are joining us in the building or tuning in online, we hope that you join us in getting excited about all that God has for us in the coming year. So between 11:45 and 12:15 today, we will be serving communion outside our building. Now this is curbside, just like curbside pickup, which I'm sure a lot of us have experience with, so you won't have to go inside the building at all. So even if you're joining us online today, if you see this in time, we really hope that you stop by. It'll be different, it'll be weird, and it won't feel the same, but it will still be celebrating communion together as a church. Also, just as another little bonus, we do have cookies available as well. So follow us here, check out hcckw.ca to find out what other exciting things are happening here this fall. I'm going to touch on a couple of those now. So our small groups are kicking off again. Small groups are a great way to go deeper in our relationship with God and with others. And yes, they can happen online during a pandemic. So we currently have 3 groups. Each of them is doing a bit of a different thing, meeting in different ways. Check out our website for more details on that and getting in touch with them. Now, twice a year we have our business meetings or our family chats where we talk about what's going on and gives people a chance to ask questions about some of the stuff that you might not see every day. This next family chat will be happening next Sunday, September 20th, following a shortened service. So check out our website, the bulletin section, for more details. Now, one of the areas we're trying to focus on for the next 2 years in our strategic plan is prayer. So this fall, every week, our prayer team will be giving us an area of prayer to focus on for the coming week. So this week, as school is ramping up, our prayer team is asking us to join them in praying for a safe return to class for students and teachers and support staff. So please join us in praying for them. And now, let's continue with worship. Thank you for joining us for our Kids Corner. I have with me Eli and Micah. And today we are reading a story called God Sends Help. This is found in the book of Acts, chapters 1 through 5, and talks about also in John 15. Jesus' friends and helpers huddled together in a stuffy upstairs room. Even though it was sunny outside, the shutters were closed and the door was locked. "Wait in Jerusalem," Jesus had told them. "I am going to send you a special present. God's power is going to come into you. God's Holy Spirit is coming." So here they were, waiting. Actually, mostly what they were doing was just being scared and hiding. I mean, you can't blame them. Their best friend had left, the important people and leaders were after them, and Jesus had given them a job they didn't know how to do. As they waited, they were praying and remembering how, from the beginning, God had been working out his secret rescue plan. Suddenly, a strong wind filled the little room, whistling through the walls, rustling the straw on the floor. And there, on everyone's heads, shining in the gloom, were flickering flames. Flames that didn't hurt or burn. And something more. Inside, in their hearts, they felt a strange heat, almost as if all of the coldness and hardness were melting away, as if their broken hearts were mending, and God was giving them brand new hearts, hearts that could work properly. How it happened, they didn't know, but they knew God's power had struck their hearts ablaze, and Jesus himself was coming to live inside them. They had seen Jesus go away, but now he was closer than he had ever been, inside their hearts. And this time, nothing could ever separate them. Whispering the promise that we get rid of the poison and the terrible lie and the sickness in their hearts. God's wonderful promise to them: "You are my child, and I love you. Make your home in me as I make my home in you," Jesus had said. Could it be? Heaven was coming into their hearts. They threw open the shutters. Sunlight flooded their room as love had flooded their hearts, and the little room was filled with happy noises. Dancing feet, singing, laughing. They unlocked the door and surged out into the streets as if they had never been afraid. Peter spoke in a loud voice so everyone could hear. "Jesus died for you," he said, "because he loves you. But God made him alive again, and he has rescued you." People stopped and listened. The words sank down deep into their hearts and worked like a medicine that makes you well, like the antidote to a deadly poison, like a kiss that wakes you from a deep sleep. "Stop running away from God," Peter said. "Run to him instead, so he can love you and make you free." And Peter told them the wonderful story of God's love, God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love. How Jesus had come, all that had happened. There were lots of people from faraway countries in Jerusalem. They couldn't speak the same language, but as they listened to Peter, everyone could understand what he was saying in their own languages. Many people believed, and they became Jesus' new friends and helpers. And the wonderful news of Jesus spread, like sparks from a fire, to villages, towns, cities. Every day, more and more people believed. And so it was that the family of God's children, his special people, grew. One man was watching. "I'll stop this," Saul said. But this was God's plan, and nothing in all the world would ever be able to stop it. Thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the service. Bye-bye.
Bah! That was a terrifying.
Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may me.